Welcome back to another unexpectedly random product review. Well, hello there. Today, we have a couple of slices of this awesome looking pizza here. It is the Red Baron new stuffed 4-cheese pizza. And while Red Baron's not a stranger to the stuffed crust pizza game, um, their previous iteration was a rectangular pizza, and I believe it required. We may actually have a review here on the channel, but I believe it required you to cook it on a pan, which was annoying at best, especially if you generally cook on the rack directly. Of course, now I'm cooking on a pizza steel, so that changes things a little bit. But even so, it was kind of difficult, and it was only two sides that were stuffed. It was a rectangle, and then the two. It's like they made this massive long pizza, and then stuffed the edges, and then chopped it into segments. And so it was. It kind of felt like you were getting gypped on your stuffed crustiness. So when I saw this, it was on clearance at my local store. I think it was something like a one-off that the Nestle dropped off for them, not something that they intended to stock. So it was on clearance, and I saw it in the bunker, and I'm like, "Wait, is that the rectangular one?" And I looked at it closer, and it's like, "That's not the rectangular one. That's insane. I have to have that." And so here we are trying it. Now, I do want to mention that this one has had some time to cool off, both so I don't burn myself on it, and um, just because it took me a minute to get stuff going here. So we're not going to get the cheese stretch that you would normally see. I've always been a big fan of Red Baron pizzas. They have very good flavor overall. Their pepperoni is some of the best pepperoni I've had on a pizza, literally in the entirety of my existence. So I'm not even worried about how this is going to taste. I know it's going to be good. I'm just excited that we have a regular round stuffed crust pizza from Red Baron. And there's actually three different flavors. There's the 4 cheese, there's a pepperoni, and there's a triple meat, I believe. This was the only one that was available at my store, but if we find the other ones, I may make a video on them as well. So let me see if I can get you a bit of cross section here. You've got your log of cheese, 2.5 feet of cheese in the circle of the crust. The diameter of this pizza is a little bit smaller than their standard brick oven crust pizza. I referenced that one because I was just cooking the other ones up earlier today, so I could chop them into slices and freeze them. Super convenient. Random thought. If you cook up a Red Baron pizza and cut it into slices and then bag them in sandwich bags and throw them in a freezer bag, like a gallon freezer bag, you can freeze them and then just pull them out and throw them in the microwave, and they generally keep their crispiness, and it's quite impressive. So, but yeah, otherwise, standard cheese rope in the crust. Looks like we've got a decent sauce layer here, as well as your cheese. I do like a little bit more crispiness, browning on my cheese, so I pop it under the broiler for a minute or so once we get them cooked, just to bring that color up. And also, if you're doing the freeze technique, crisping up the cheese a little bit like that ends up giving you a better mouthfeel, better texture overall. So we're going to give this a try here. And in classic stuffed crust fashion, or maybe just in classic Pizza Hut brand stuffed crust fashion, we're gonna start with the stuffed crust side. Mm-hmm. It's a very soft crust. I'm kind of impressed that the even though we've got a good crispiness here on the surface, the overall crust is very fluffy, very soft. Um, the cheese, it's a very good mozzarella. It's got a good. I was gonna say neutral flavor, but mozzarella isn't a very pungent flavored cheese. Um, but it's very good. It's similar to like your string cheese sticks in flavor. Not real tangy at all or anything that way. And as anticipated, phenomenal pizza. Again, I'm really digging the crust. Honestly, I've always been kind of a go-to on the brick oven crusts myself, but this crust is doing some good things for me. I'm enjoying it. The sauce has just a slight bit of spiciness in it. I don't know if it's black pepper or what it is. And there's maybe a little more sauce to this one than you would see on most pizzas. Um, as far as a frozen pizza sort of situation. It seems a little saucier, which is actually kind of nice, to be totally honest. The cheese is good. You do get kind of those dimensions there in the cheese. I don't know that I could distinctly pick out any particular one of the cheeses that are listed. You can see it's mozzarella, cheddar, Asiago, and whatever the last one is there that I can't see because it's too far away from me on the screen. You can zoom in over there if you want to see it. But there is a little bit of that kind of tartness of a cheddar in there, but otherwise it's a very good blend. It tastes good, very cheesy, and I'm sure you have a lot better stretch on the cheese when it's still piping hot. But I don't like burning off the taste buds in my mouth, so to each their own, I guess. But that's just me personally. But all in all, that is a delicious pizza. I am super happy with that. And you know what? I didn't follow the cooking and directions. I threw it on the pizza steel for 10 minutes, I think. It was 8 minutes, and then I added an additional two, and then broiler for a minute or two just to get that browning on the cheese. But absolutely gorgeous. I would buy this again in a heartbeat. I think it was $8 for the pizza on the clearance. It's probably more like 10, I'd imagine, retail. But that's a beautiful pizza right there. So if you've tried it or tried the other flavors, let me know in the comments. We will if I come across the other ones, we'll try to make a video on them, just because I know how you guys are and your pizzas. Um, but yeah, that's a beautiful pizza, and that's a victory for sure. So definitely give it a try. That's all I've got for this product review. Hope you guys had a wonderful time, and we will see you in the next one. And of course, until then, stay random. This has been another unexpectedly random product review.